everybody, welcome to our very first Night Rider podcast. I'm Mr. Brew, I'm the faculty advisor of the Holyoke High School Herald.
I'm Dana, I'm a senior, also part of the Herald.
I'm Jack Shea, I'm editor-in-chief for the Herald, also senior.
I'm Ishani Morales, I'm a junior, and I take video production.
I am Isaac Fonte. I am in the Herald, and I'm also a sophomore and a podcast editor for this.
Thanks, guys. So we are in the Holyoke Public Schools Media Center, and it is September 26, 2019. It's our very first Night Rider podcast. So this is the Herald, and this is meant to be more of an informal discussion of what's going on in our school and also in our community in Holyoke, even outside of our community in all of Western Mass and around the country. So we're just going to talk about things that are on our minds. We're going to try to do this every 2 weeks and put it on our YouTube page so you can follow us on YouTube, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and the reminder button. Hopefully we'll get this every 2 weeks for you folks, and it's more of an informal discussion, so it's going to go as long as we like it to go. There's no particular time limit here, and it's meant to be something that you can listen to whether you're on your phone or you're on the computer or you're driving, you have it plugged into your aux cord in your car. So hopefully we can continue this going all year. So we're going to start talking about events in the first month of school. So guys, how do you think things have gone so far in the first month of Holyoke High School this year, 2019-20 year?
No, we're making steady progress this year. We seem to be going in a good direction, especially with Dr. Mahoney. Yeah, it's got some good leadership and some good decision making.
He's been more like active, like talking with students. I had the chance to talk to him like last year, but more and more you're able to just walk up to the guy and talk to him about certain things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know too much about like what's going on in that, but hopefully like I'll be able to see like things unfold and all that. I'm really excited to like be back here and all that. So I'm really excited to see things unfold and like what's coming up and all that, especially for like later on in the year and everything once it like starts to come about.
Yeah. I'm very excited because I see that we have a very active school community this year. It seems like a lot more people are participating in like everything all around, like whether it be sports, going to sports, or just clubs in general, like the Herald. Like we're pumping out more articles than ever, and that's really great.
Shamelessly self-promoting yourself on our first podcast. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jack.
We have to do it at least once.
We have to.
Yeah.
Actually, just do this throughout the podcast. Sorry, folks watching. But I agree with you. Just going to that first football game and seeing all the students out there, which was great. And, you were talking about clubs and activities. The business club, we had like 50 people in the room 2 days ago. And I didn't even really do much. You were all actively planning the year, and you did such a great job. As a teacher, that was thrilling to watch. That was really amazing.
I didn't get one piece of pizza.
Oh, well, the pizza wasn't the main part. But yeah, just watching you all plan and do so well, you're right. This seems to be a very active class, and I think it's going to be a very student-driven class.
Definitely.
And it's interesting that you folks are talking about your interactions with Dr. Mahoney. You're absolutely right. That is so important. He's been really a good part of our school year so far and interacting with everyone, because I'm thinking about my own experiences as a student. When I was at another high school, I never had that opportunity at all. I think I talked to my principal once in the 4 years, and you all are talking to him on a daily basis, and I think that's amazing. So it's really interesting that you bring that up. I never had that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like Dr. Mahoney's just like, I feel like he's very invested in the school himself. Like, I remember I was in history, and we had like this little icebreakers, like the first week of school, we had this little icebreaker, we went outside in the hall, and we were discussing like things we didn't necessarily like. And I remember one student in particular, he discussed about the bathrooms and about the quality of the bathrooms, and he instantly was just like on it. He was like, okay, we can talk about this later, let's see what we can do about it. Mahoney's just like really invested in the students, and that's really like a plus when it comes to anything school related. And I feel like it's just heartwarming to just feel like that he actually cares.
Absolutely.
He's a very, the first time I saw him, I think it was sophomore year, freshman year? In freshman year?
That sounds right.
Yeah. The first time I saw him, I actually was at lunch and needed permission to go to my video production class during that time. I love video production, very fun class, had it last year. We were stopped by him, me and two of my friends, and we were just talking to him, he was just like, hey, where are you going? Talk about it. I had no idea he was a principal. He was just dressed in just normal, like all principals I've seen so far, like have a suit, have a tie, you know, very formal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was just dressed normally. And when we were walking away, like my friend's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we got stopped by the principal." Like, that was the principal? Just like, what? It was just the way he talked, the way he looked. Like, he didn't seem formal at all. He's just a very nice guy.
Well, it's very special for a student to be able to have that kind of interaction with your principal.
Mhm.
And like you said, you weren't even sure at first if he was your principal or not. That shows how much he's invested in you and how much he's given you the time of day to talk to you. I had a great principal when I was in high school, but like I said, I talked to him one time in 4 years, so I never had that opportunity. So that's great. Anything else you want to add before we move on to our next topic, guys? So we have a lot going on our first month. It's been a busy first month, and the hat hoodie rule has been definitely something that has changed the school. So how do you feel about the new hat hoodie rule, folks?
I feel like it's really good for students, you know, like especially like with the whole like with the hats, like being able to wear them backwards and whatnot. I feel like it's really a lot. I feel like it's really better for the students, like be included to decide what they want to wear and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like just in like some cases and whatnot, some kids might feel self-conscious, like might get a messed up haircut, something like that. They want to wear a hat, cover it up real
Absolutely.
quick,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. I feel like it's just really good that they actually taking that into consideration, like developing it into like our school principals and whatnot to let these kids make their choice.
Like,
Couldn't agree more.
just yesterday is when they updated it. And I was the one who wrote that list. I put that there before we had any changes. So I was like, oh, we're going to talk about like how it could change. And then just yesterday, so it already kind of happened.
So we're making progress.
Yeah, still
Really
making
early on.
still making progress. We still can't wear hoods in classrooms. I wanted to be part of being able to like help change the rules, but I haven't had the opportunities to yet. Mhm. But yeah, I'm glad I'm able to wear this in public and people won't make a big deal out of it, you know?
Anyone else have a thought, comment on this before we go on to the next topic? The hat hoodie rule?
I think the hats being on is okay. I don't really think hoodies in class is still okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Mhm.
more, I understand the safety aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really mad that we can't wear hoodies.
Okay.
I think the hat thing was a long time coming. Like that argument has been since my freshman year. So I'm glad that it's gone. I mean,
Mhm.
it's my senior year, but it's gone at
Okay.
least.
I just think it's great. Kids can express themselves. Yeah, that's cool.
I think
I agree.
Hoodies, I know in hallways, like obviously you shouldn't be able to wear that because it blocks up like back of your head, these sides. You can only see your front and that's a safety precaution. I think
agree.
in classrooms though, it should be okay. I know from what I hear that for some people it's just a lot of anxiety and like being able to wear your hood just is more like, makes you feel comfortable, you know, and you're able to focus on class more.
I kind of feel like it's a participation issue. Like if you have your hood on, like you're just like not there. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like you're kind of
Right.
closed off from the rest of your community. And I feel like if you have that hood off, like it opens you up to everyone else. And I feel like that's very valuable in any classroom environment to be open.
Guess so.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to look at it. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, and
That's
definitely like
interesting.
yeah, with like some teachers and all that, I feel like some teachers might view it as like, especially like older teachers might view it as like a respect thing.
Yeah.
Like when, like usually when you come home, you take your hat off and all that.
Mhm.
You're doing certain things, you just take your hat off and you greet the person with your open face and whatnot. But I feel like with the hoodies, I feel like it's just a little bit more of like a safety precaution and whatnot because you just can't see your face. Because some hoodies, they just reach like midpoint of your head. Some they just completely cover your face. So
Yeah.
I feel like the hoodies, not too mad about it, like what Dan said.
Mm.
But with the hats, I'm really glad that that's just become a part of like what we can choose.
Yeah, and, you know, honestly, it's made it better for teachers, I think, because I don't think any teacher becomes a teacher wanting to have negative interactions with students. You know, you want to have positive interactions. You want to have a good relationship with your students. So now that we're making it so that more of the interactions are positive ones and less are, hey, get rid of that, put that away, and, you know, it just makes the class better and a more positive environment. So I think the new rules are better, but they're also keeping in mind safety and education. So yeah, I think it's been rolled out pretty nicely.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the stare rule.
Yeah, this is one that I put on
You
there
put this in.
personally.
This is not for me.
Follow the arrows. I don't know what's so hard about following the arrows. Like, we only have like 2 minutes and like 30 seconds to get to class, and you're going up the wrong stairs. You're going down the wrong stairs. Like, you're just holding us up. Like, you're just holding us up. Stop doing it.
I think-
Go. No.
It's like driving in the left lane. Like, honestly, you don't drive in the left lane. You're gonna get in
Literally.
a car accident.
Yeah,
Last year we had a really bad year. Like, I would be going up the upstairs and I would be a minority. Like, there'd be like crowds coming down through the upstairs. I honestly got a
it's-
little ticked off.
I think it was like, then I was like, in freshman year, like a lot of rules like hat, hood rule, and like the stair rule, they weren't really enforced well. So we're in a position where a lot of people were just got used to just being able to just walk up your stairs to the class. There was the whole unspoken rule that if you're going up the stairs, like hug the right side of the wall.
Yeah.
Because for some people, having a stair rule, like, makes them late to class a lot of the times. And I think the whole issue with, not having a stair will, like, make things slow. Like, some people will just,
Yeah.
it'll just go up the wrong stairs, you know. I think it's more that some people are just, like, ignorant when it comes to those things. Because no matter if we have a stair rule or not, you're still going to have people stand in front of the stairs.
Sure.
Just stop talking like in the middle of stairs. I have some people who like stop talking to their friends, but they at least don't do it like in front of a crowd of people who are just trying to go to their class.
The interesting thing for me with this is, like, 5 years ago when I was working at Chicopee High School, this was the same problem.
Yeah.
It was just as much of a problem at, across the river in Chicopee. So it's not just our school. We have to remember that.
Yeah, that's Chicopee though.
What's that?
That's Chicopee though.
So yeah, the stair rule. I gotta say, I know how you feel, because I think my first year or so, I got more angry at students when they were late for class. But now, as I've kind of experienced what you go through more, like, I was in the lunchroom the other day, and I realized that I was talking to one of you more than I probably should have, and then I was kind of late getting back to my class, and then I realized just how hard it is to get back to your class on time from lunch. It takes a long time, and it gets very congested on those stairs. I know how you feel.
Especially when
We
it
need
comes
everyone to work
to
together.
especially when it comes to going to lunch and you're on the third floor and
Yeah.
your next class is
Totally.
on the first floor
Yeah.
and you have to go a specific flight of stairs just so you can get to lunch. It's
Yeah.
very very difficult, to say the least. I had
It
to do
is.
this 2 years in a row.
There's like 1,200 kids here, right?
Oh, at least.
1600.
1,600.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Two
if you got
campuses,
3
yeah.
lunches, you have at least 500 kids at each lunch. So that's 500 kids in the one hallway getting out of lunch. So it's got to be kind of difficult.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
There's pros and cons, but I think it really just depends. We have to everyone either has to just not follow a stair rule, just go on the right side,
Yeah.
or everyone has to adjust to this. And I don't know which one people are going to pick, you know?
No, I think it'd be faster if we just all go in one way.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's just.
That's how it's always
I mean,
been.
like,
really
if
simple.
you're scared you're gonna be late because everybody is going the same way as you, I don't know, walk faster. Like, I just don't care. Like, you should not be coming down when I'm coming up, because that is, if I fall, I'm taking you with me. Like, that.
she said it right here,
I
folks.
hate it. I hate.
I mean,
stuff.
I don't know about you guys, but I can get across the school in like 3 minutes.
And you just.
Jack, you're on the track. Vaping. We just had our 10th death today in the
Oh,
country.
we did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm thinking that we went over our current events like we normally do, because this
Yeah,
is the
'cause-
podcast day. We didn't
yeah.
do our current events.
No, we didn't.
So I'm
This
thinking
is our
about A
current
Block.
event.
Yeah, we learned about that in my business current event. So the CEO of Juul just stepped down
Really?
because they had their 10th e-cigarette related death in this country today.
History repeats.
I mean, he already made
What
his money,
happened?
so
Yeah. So what do we think about vaping
I think vaping's
here
super.
in Holyoke and all around the world? Really, I mean, this is an issue.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like, it's just dumb. Just don't do it. Like, you're
Yeah, I agree.
destroying your body. Like, the cost of doing that is greater than the benefit you're gonna get. Like, there are other ways you could enjoy life. Like, you just start working out, you could make friends, you could, spend time with your loved ones. Like, that's just not an efficient way of using your body.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like just for me, I just personally don't get it. I've never taken it. I've never taken like cigarettes, weed, or anything like that. But I just personally don't get it. I would like to talk to somebody who has taken it
Okay.
and understand their perspective on why they want to take it, what are they feeling when they get it. Because obviously you need both sides of the story when it comes to things like that. But for me personally, I don't get it. Like, I'm an athlete, so like I like really like me being an athlete. It's an investment in my body, so I can't like damage it in any way. So that's just like, for me, I just can't take it and all that, and I don't really understand why, or like how addicting it is necessarily.
I think it was, it comes to like vaping, like smoking, or things like that. I can never try those things. I have asthma, so like one breath of that, I would just die. I get for some people, just the sensation is worth it, and I know for some people it's also a way to cope with certain things. But the risk is just too much. Like, there's still
10 death, yeah. The
Just-
stats speak for themselves.
there's still like people who will still vape in the bathroom, and like I just have to walk into that, just like, okay.
I feel like part of it too is just like they can even see the death tolls like raising up, but I feel like it's still just like that little thought of like, oh, it's not gonna happen to me though.
I've
It's just not
actually,
gonna happen to me.
If
I've
we-
heard that before in like health class. They talked about that.
Yeah.
Can we spend more time talking about the content in those e-cigarettes? Do you think that would help students both here and all over the world kind of phase this out?
I mean, I feel like e-cigarettes, cigarettes, anything addictive, it's like you do it so much, your
Yeah.
brain has a chemical imbalance at that point.
Yeah,
So no
you're
matter
absolutely
what you hear, it's like, I still want it. Like, even if you don't want to do it, you still want it. You're spending money on these jewel pods, and you're spending money on keeping up with an addiction at 17, 16. So
Yeah.
I feel like, and your brain is still growing, so it's very susceptible to addictions. So I feel like you can blame like this community of people for, you can't blame them for being addicted for something that's been like handed to them through the media. Like, same
Wait.
thing with cigarettes. When cigarettes first came out, they started with teenagers. Like, we're
Yeah.
very susceptible to everything. So
And like part of it is just out there. Like it's just out there
Yeah.
for them to get. It's not like you need to have like a license or anything like that. It's
There's
not
no
as
age restriction.
Yeah, no, you can just get it. So I feel like that's definitely part of the like breaking point of like they can just get it.
So how can we just like stop young people from trying it all together? How can we just move forward and kind of get rid of this?
I
from our-
think it was
from our
preventable at
country?
one point, like a year or two ago. That was when it was just started
Yeah.
to become a fad. Like, people were
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
cool, let's try this.
Yeah.
But like now that everyone's addicted and hooked onto it, like it's not even a fad at this point. It's like a necessity for some people because they're addicted. So I feel like at this point, it's gonna be really hard to stop people from using those things.
Well, you're gonna need like a support center.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna
Absolutely.
Replacing habits.
they're gonna need to do the same thing they did with cigarettes.
Yeah,
Like,
We're
they're
gonna need a
agree
lot of
more.
those.
Like you have this new generation of people that are gonna have lung issues because of this new generation of nicotine devices.
So I want to end with something fun. Favorite classes.
Favorite class?
Remember, you are getting a grade from me for this class. I just want to remind you before you answer that question.
Okay. I will say this year, just no, like honestly, this is my favorite class this year.
That's
Like,
not why I asked you the question. You don't
I
have
don't
to
know
say that.
I mean, it is. I was gonna say it regardless. I put that on there.
All right. Just put a note on my phone and give you an A. No, but what else? What are your favorite classes here at Hoyoke? So we have a lot of diverse classes here. Like when I was in high school, I don't know if you guys realize it, I didn't have nearly this many opportunities to take classes, and there's so many clubs here at HHS. I mean, what are your favorites?
I like AP World a lot.
That's great.
AP World. Mr. Fry's a
Fry.
great guy.
Fry.
Oh, he is.
This is my second time having him. I just love
That's
messing
cool.
around with him. He's a good guy. This is last year though. It's kind of sad.
I know.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Really sad.
Rip Feinberg.
We all miss Feinberg.
We all miss Feinberg.
I think he's on the Cape right now.
Probably.
Good time.
Yeah, living his life.
Living in his truck.
Any other favorite classes? We only have about a minute left, so.
Actually, pretty shocking. I used to like really dislike math a lot, but now I have props and statistics with Bassett. It's a
Yeah.
really amazing class.
Set.
Yeah.
gonna
He's
do
a
the fair later
character,
on this
bro.
year, right?
He's
Huh?
such
Is he
a
gonna do the
character.
fair later
Yeah,
this
yeah,
year?
yeah,
That
yeah.
was awesome last year.
Yeah, it is my first time having him, and like I'm really excited to see like how the class is gonna go. He's a really dope teacher and all.
I hear he's a really good teacher for my friends. Like I just see him in the hallways. Like he's so charismatic with
Oh, he's
everything he does.
He's
Think-
such a character.
I forgot if it was him or someone else, but for Halloween. I think he dressed up as Gandalf and he had like a ruler stick. And he was like, "You shall not pass."
That's
Like,
Beset.
that's
I'm
what
very
that's
jealous
what
of
he
you.
said.
I have really interesting conversations, and I wish I was able to have him as a teacher. That's great. And how many schools can go around in the country and someone would say their favorite subject is math, right? That's great.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it just speaks to how great he
I mean,
is.
my favorite subject's math.
Oh, all right,
Yeah,
never mind.
but
Sorry to math
you're
teachers out there.
back.
Anything else before we go, guys? We're pretty much done here with our first podcast. So anything else you want to say before we end?
No.
I think that's it.
Pretty sure that's it. Hopefully we have more stuff to talk about as
I think
the
we
weeks
will.
go on in school.
The Herald is on Instagram and Twitter, and we have like multiple Twitters. Just look up the Herald, and I think that's it. Oh, and Facebook if you have Facebook.
And go to football games.
Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great day.